Y'all, I really wish y'all knew how many times I tried to create this video. If it doesn't work this time, I'm done, okay? But no, for real, you guys, I literally have been trying to create this video like 4 times. And the last time I just knew I had it, I was like, okay, boom, we did that and it's a wrap. I go over to my phone and I'm like trying to replay the video, make sure the lighting's good, make sure everything's good. And it says, your storage is full. And so it cut off at a certain point. So I'm a little annoyed, but it's cool. We're gonna get through this, you guys, because I got to talk about this. I'm not going to give up. This topic is going to come out and it's going to be on the internet. I have to give my 2 cents about the Hawks getting the #1 pick. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Oh, real quick, happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers out there. Shout out to my mama. I love her to death. And let's get into it. So like I said, you guys, you heard that right. The Hawks got the #1 pick in the NBA draft this year. You guys, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know the lottery was going on today. So I got a text message. People know I'm a really big Hawks fan. So I got a text message. Somebody was like, oh, you know, the Hawks got the #1 pick. Let's go. And I'm like, what? For real? You know, and I'm excited. I'm like, what? We got the #1 pick, blah, blah, blah. What does this mean? And I'm looking and I'm like, who is like, that's exciting, but who are the prospects? Like, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really checking into these prospects this year. To be honest, I wasn't even checking for the Hawks to make moves in the draft because I'm like, you know, we're a play-in team. It was very unlikely. As a matter of fact, they said we had the 5th lowest odds of all time at 3% of all time since the 1980s, when they first started doing the lottery. So we really didn't have a really good chance of even getting the #1 pick. So I'm not really paying any attention because I'm like, for what? You know, the Hawks, we've just gotten into this habit. We're getting these picks and then blah, blah, blah. You know, like we got AJ Griffin, we got Cody Buffkin, you know, they haven't really panned into much, you know what I mean? But we have had some people who have panned in a bunch and we traded them away. So it's like, cool. But the #1 pick moves me. And I think it moves a lot of people. And the #1 pick, more than anything, whether you use it or not, it's an asset. And my main thing in anything, period, that anything you're doing in your life, you always have to think about assets and liabilities. I think of friends in that way. Are my friends adding value to my life, or are they taking away value? I think of money that way, you know, stocks that way, you know. When you're thinking of building a team, you have to think of which pieces of this team is an asset, which pieces are liabilities. You want to buy low, sell high, right? So if you have a player that you think is overperforming or just playing very well, to me, like a John Collins was at one point, you trade him while his value's high. The problem was for the Hawks, we traded while his value was low. And that's what I'm saying, like assets and liabilities. The #1 pick is an asset that you can use to your benefit. Either you can use it or you can trade it. Either way, there's going to be people who are willing to give a very high price for that and give, you know, good value for that pick. So either way, it's a win-win for the Hawks. Whether you end up using that pick or you get value back in return. You just got to make sure you're getting the right value in return. Some people, they don't know how to make trades. They get desperate and they get robbed. You know, they get completely robbed and taken advantage of. And that's my biggest thing. Just make sure you're not getting robbed and taken advantage of. And you'll be fine. But I said all that to say the Hawks have the #1 pick and we're excited over here. But I did a little bit of research because I was like, okay, we got the #1 pick. Now I got to start doing research. Who are the prospects this year? Who are they linking us to? Who are they saying that the Hawks should get in this year's draft? And the #1 person that I saw, which makes a lot of sense for me, his name is Alex Sarr. He's a European center, 7'1", 19 years old. A lot of people are calling him like a baby Victor Wembanyama. If I'm not mistaken, he's from France. Don't quote me on it, but I think he is. I do know he's European. And, you know, he's a young guy. You know, he's a young guy, raw talent, but he's 7'1". And one of the main things you hear a lot of people say is that you cannot teach size. 7'1" is big. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, Bobo is 7'1", and da-da-da, and he didn't pan out. I got it. But I think you got to take your chances on somebody who's 7'1" and who is prospected to be the #1 player in the world for this class. I mean, you got to take your chances on somebody like that. And on top of that, I think he could learn a lot from Trae Young and Dejounte Murray and people like that. You know, you put the right people around him, the right coaches around him, help him to develop. I think you'll be onto something for sure. Also, I would love to see a pick and roll with Trae Young with somebody who was 7'1", and Jalen Johnson and, you know, Dejounte. I think the main thing with the Hawks is just really getting them the right pieces together and also really getting them some defense. So hopefully this guy he's not just big, but he also can defend well. I need to do a little bit more research on him, but I hope he is also a great defender. Number 2, this guy is a great defender, and that's the reason why a lot of people are also tying the Hawks to Donovan Clingan from UConn, 7'2" center, 20 years old, and I actually did see him play in the national championship. I watched a little bit of his film. He is a really good rim protector and defender, also a little bit thicker and like just a bigger body, more NBA ready body than Alex Sarr. Alex Sarr to me is kind of built like Victor Wembanyama. There was actually a picture that popped up of them next to each other. It looked like it was photoshopped or something, but they're very much similar in size. And Victor did well this year, so I'm not even worried about that. But yeah, Donovan Clingan, 7'2" center, he moves me. Him and Alex both move me for different reasons, but I know that Donovan can play defense. I think that's a really big thing for us that we need to be looking for this year. The Hawks were 21st in defensive efficiency and rating, which is not good. You know, you never want to be at the bottom for defense, because that is something that really does win championships. If you look at the teams that are playing very well in the NBA playoffs right now, they have put on some really good defensive performances. And so that's what it's going to take in order for the Hawks to be where they need to be. So Donovan Clingan he really moves me because defensively, I think he could help us to improve, especially around the rim, not letting people just freaking lay the ball up, like easy layups and things like that. Come on, like seriously. And you know what the crazy thing is, you guys, a lot of people are really like confused about the Hawks, and I think this is the thing that makes them so confused. Is like the Hawks overall record last year was 36-46, right? Not good, not 500 team. You never want to not be a 500 team. Granted, Trae Young was hurt. Jalen Johnson has been hurt. Onyeka has been hurt. A lot of people have been really hurt this year, so that sucks. But most importantly, this was an interesting thing for me. The Hawks had the 5th best offensive rating in the league, coming in at 118 points per game. But this is the part that throws it off, is that they're 20th in efficiency. So that means they were taking a lot of shots. They were scoring a lot of points, but they weren't efficient. I think getting a big guy who can finish around the rim, who also has a little bit of a post game, could help the efficiency, because we all know the closer you are to the rim, the more efficient those shots can become. You know, those are just higher percentage shots that you're taking around the rim. Also, the Hawks, like I said, defensive rating was 21st. So you want to get those numbers up. You want to at least get into the top 10 in efficiency, and if you can get in the top 10 in defensive rating. I think those are 2 things that would really improve this team. Defensive rating, like I said, address that in free agency. You can address that, you know, with getting one of these centers who provide that as well. You know, you already know Dejounte Murray and Jalen Johnson are going to play defense. I don't think it was them. Personally, I mean, I'm just not a big fan of DeAndre Hunter. I think he's overrated, and I think he has been robbing the NBA, completely robbing the NBA, because he's absolutely streaky. He's not doing to me what he needs to do what he needs to do. So I'm over him. But these are some notable free agent names that I thought were interesting too. If the Hawks decide to go with some free agents and move away from some of these old pieces, for me, the pieces that I like the most are Trae Young, Dejounte Murray, and Jalen Johnson. Ideally, those are the 3 people I would personally like to keep. But I know a lot of, you know, Trae and Dejounte's name have come up a lot, so I don't know. We'll see. But I would like to keep those pieces. But some notable free agents, we have Precious Achiuwa, Jose Alvarado, like him, he's a dog. Kyle Anderson, OG Anunoby, like him. Bruce Brown, like him. Reggie Bullock, Alec Burks, KCP, love him. Nick Claxton, like that dude too. DeMar DeRozan, Andre Drummond, Paul George, Buddy Hield, Tobias Harris, Tyus Jones. So that's 15 names right there. You know, I think there's a few more that I probably didn't really see or that I didn't necessarily think would be a good fit for us. But honestly, as I'm looking at this, I don't think we need DeMar DeRozan. We don't need Paul George. We don't need, we don't need DeMar DeRozan or Paul George, to be honest. We need some of those role player guys. We need someone like KCP, Jose Alvarado, Precious Achua. You know what I'm saying? We need some of those key role players, you know, sprinkle in a little bit of vets, a little bit of, you know, good role players, like mix it with Trae and Dejounte, get some defensive people on this team. That's what we got to get. Defensive people and 3-point shooters. You know, everything else can take care of itself. Defense and 3-point shooting is, to me, the biggest two things that I would like for us to go after in this particular free agency. And then also, you know, there's probably some trades that could be made as well. You know, some people that we can go after in trades. And I want to do a little bit more research and see who they're actually talking about as far as trades. I know I've heard people talking about the Lakers and Trae Young getting traded to the Lakers, and Trae Young being traded to the Spurs and things like that. But I'm not ready to give up on Trae Young. I know a lot of people are. I'm just not. You know, I know Trae, like, he's annoying sometimes, you know, like his shot selection isn't the best and he makes turnovers sometimes, you know, but Trae also helped us to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think a lot of us are forgetting that. And I don't want to forget that. I think Trae also just has been at a disadvantage. He hasn't had the greatest supporting cast since he actually went to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, you know, we need to get him some help. You know, I don't think we're that far away as people think we are. I think if you make this pick, you know, go ahead and get one of them big guys, and then go ahead and get some people in free agency, and then go ahead and do some trading. But trade away like DeAndre Hunter, Clint Capella, trade away those guys. Trade them away and get some new fresh blood in here. I'm sick of them. They got to go. You know what I'm saying? Something definitely has to shake. We just need like a good shaking. Shake us up. That's what we need. We need to be shaken up. You know what I'm saying? But don't shake too much to the point where we ain't got nothing left. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to keep our core. We need to decide who we're going to build around. Because my thing is, if you're trading Trae, then who are you building around? Dejounte? Maybe. That's fine. You know, but are you building around Dejounte in this new number 1 pick? Are you building around Trae in this new number 1 pick? Like, we have to decide who we want to build around. And I told y'all my 3 people I want to build around. Give me Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, and Dejounte Murray. Everybody else can go. That's who I want to build around. 100%. Like I said, we increase that defensive efficiency, get into the top 10 in defensive efficiency, and top 10 in offensive efficiency. I like our chances. I definitely like our chances. So that's all I got, guys. Like, whew, I'm thirsty. I've been talking so much more than just this video, y'all. I've tried to record this video like 30 times, like I said. So, whew, I'm thirsty. But I think I got everything out that I needed to say. Y'all, let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that we need to trade? Do we need to keep Trae Young, trade Trae Young, Dejounte? You know, I want to hear y'all's opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You can't agree with me. It doesn't matter. I'm just giving my opinion on what I think we should do. But I do value you guys' opinion as well. So let me know what y'all think. Let me know what is going to help the Hawks be a better team. How are we going to get into that top 6, y'all? What's going to help us get into that top 6 in the East? Let me know what y'all think. And until next time, I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. And I'll see y'all next time.